Good morning. Can you find joy in your frustration? This morning has been just absolutely wild. Evilness, Satan has been trying to stop this message. This is like the 8th or 9th time. Every time I get a little into it, or almost all the way through it, something happens. I had one time that I was all the way completed with it. Then I went to post it onto YouTube, and it's not on my phone. But yet, I pressed record and stop. I know that it recorded it. Do you have the resolve? Do we have the resolve to keep going even when things try to stop us dead in our tracks? Because the one thing that remains is Christ's love in our heart and our soul will give us that determination to face evilness in the face and say, you're going down. You will not take my joy. You will not steal my peace. I will come at you, and every curveball you throw at me, I will crush it out of this universe. Listen to these words and understand God is in control. Higher than the mountains that I face, stronger than the power of the grave, constant through the trial and the change. One thing remains. One thing fails and never gives up, never runs out on me. Your love never fails and never gives up, never runs out on me. Your love never fails and never gives up, never runs out on me. One thing remains. One thing just those words. No matter what is thrown in our way, we can overcome it. Because the one thing that remains is God's love. It's so deep, it's so true, it's more than anything that we could ever possibly imagine. Do you have the attitude that when evilness comes in your face and tries to stop you, that you say, bring it? You will not stop me, because I know that Christ is stronger than you. And I know that Christ is right here. He's right here. He's enveloped me in his hands. He will not let me fail, no matter what anything or anyone throws my way, because he's that strong. All the people in this world, their love combined, that from the beginning of time to the end, cannot come close to God's love. And it will always remain there. He does ask us to seek to be obedient. He knows it will fall, which is the fulfillment of Christ going to the cross, his grace filling the chasm, the separation that we create every time we create sin. Because that's what we do. We cause sin when we do sinful things. If the message makes you squirm when you reflect when I say we sin, good. Because it makes me squirm. Makes me reflect into the things that I did wrong yesterday, the day before. And that means the Holy Spirit's alive in your soul, trying to guide you, trying to guide me. Because His love doesn't fail for those who are seeking. It never gives up on us. It goes on and on and on. It overwhelms and satisfies our soul. It tells us we don't have to be afraid, because the one thing that remains is Christ's love, God's love. Think about that. We can overcome pain, whether emotional or physical. Doesn't mean we can do everything everybody else does. It's the same thing as one person being given a gift to be able to do one thing in this world. My uncle was great with numbers. He was a great banker. But he couldn't pound a nail into a 2x4 to save his life. But God gives us abilities and gifts with the limitations that we have to be able to overcome some of those limitations. Yesterday I had the preciousness to be with my buddy Dennis, helping him with something on the west side. And I was on the ground and I had to get up. And while he's known that I've had to deal with pain, it was the first time he saw the reality of the truth of how bad it is. This isn't woe is me. This is just simply saying, look at, this is what God can do. He can give us the ability to find joy even in the ugliest moments. He didn't understand how I can do these things until I explained to him earlier in the day, and it all mirrored and married together. The thing that I posted a few years ago, and then I shared it again yesterday. Live. Don't just exist. The pain that I deal with every day can go from a scale of 1 to 10, a 2 to a 20. But I can choose to sit in my bed, lay in my bed, or sit in my recliner with the same exact pain that I had when I was over there helping him out. The difference is that I'm finding joy, peace, happiness, living life even with the limitations. That's finding Christ in my heart, showing me that in all storms I can find joy. There was a day that I laid in bed I choose to live because I know that God can overwhelm and satisfy my soul and give me peace. Many of you have witnessed all the ugliness that I went through the last year and a half. I wouldn't trade a single second of it any more than I'd trade a single second of my entire lifetime, of all the ups and downs. Because the knowledge and wisdom that the Lord has blessed me to have is what allows me to do these things unscripted, unprepared. I remember doing a sermon a year and a half ago, if I'm correct, where all the previous ones, I had my notes printed out, anywhere from 5 to 15 pages. And then one morning, God says, take the training wheels off. Take the training wheels off. You don't need these. It took about 3 more weeks for me to get the idea. to trust Him. To trust Him. Empty myself. Walk blindly into Him and not worry about what anybody says. Just walk blindly and trust Him. It's the hardest thing to do. To not worry and not think, well, what are they thinking? When you get accused of things, your mind plays games. But God teaches you, if you're binding into Him, to not allow those interferences to stop you from your path, and He will guide you and get you to say, you know what? It don't matter. Seek me, ask me, and I'll give you the knowledge and wisdom that you need. Ask, seek, knock. Be still, Bob. Trust me. Leave the training wheels in the shed. It's so hard for us to do because we as a human are always thinking, well, what did they think? What does it matter? Walk forward. Understand that He's got you. Live life no matter what pain you're dealing with. Don't sit in an apartment or a house wasting days away. Because you have the same pain whether you're sitting in a bed or a recliner in this house or your house or your apartment as you would when getting out. The difference is that you'll find joy taking in all of God's spectacular works. In death, in life, I'm confident and covered by the power of your great love. My debt is paid. There's nothing that can separate my heart from your great love. Your love never fails, it never gives up, never runs out on me. Your love never fails, it never gives up, never runs out on me. Your love never fails, it never gives up, never runs out on me. One thing remains, one thing remains. Now listen to these words one more time and think of them. Christ walking you through the fires, higher than the mountains that I face, stronger than the power of the grave, constant through the trial and the change. One thing remains, one thing remains. Your love never fails, it never gives up, never runs satisfies my soul, and I never ever have to be afraid. 'Cause one thing remains, one thing remains. Your love never fails, it never gives up, never runs out on me. Your love never fails, it never gives up, never runs out on me. Your love never fails, it never gives up, never runs out on me. One thing remains, one thing remains. No matter what evilness tries to throw at you, the one thing you can be certain of, the one thing that will always remain, is His love will help you overwhelm and overcome, and it will satisfy your soul, and it will give you a peace within your heart and your soul, that you will live life and not just exist. Because God didn't ask you to just exist in a hole, in a house or an apartment, in a bed or a chair. He asks us to live life through Him. Because one thing always remains. Is agape love. Ask, seek, and it will be revealed to you what He wants of you. Don't just exist. I did that for far too many years. Live your life through Christ living in you. This is what I pray for all of you. To not have those years waste by, not have days that I did.